everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about how to sideboard with Mardu Greasefang in Pioneer. We're going to be talking about the cards in the sideboard and how I actually sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks in Pioneer with Mardu Greasefang. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So this is the Mardu Greasefang deck, by the way. If you want to have a better look at Mardu Greasefang, I posted a deck tech of this not that long ago. So I'm not going to talk about the deck as a whole. Instead, let's look exclusively at the sideboard. Portable Hull is for these decks that have a lot of non-land permanents, mana value 2 or less, so like aggro decks. It's good for like Rest in Peace, stuff like that. Elesh Norn is great for decks that have a lot of enter the battlefield effects, so think like Enigmatic and whatnot. Duress, I'm sorry, they're different arts for some reason. Duress for these like control decks, or combo decks that we need to deal with. The fourth Fatal Push, mostly for aggressive decks. Abrade is really diverse and pretty cool card where, you know, you can use it as removal or decent artifact tape. Vanishing Verse, again, against decks that have a lot of monocolored permanents. Vanishing Verse 3 and 4. Reckoner Bankbuster for decks that are going to go and like a really long time. And Unlicensed Hearse is our Graveyard Hate. So, the most popular deck in Pioneer is Rakdos Midrange. Against Rakdos Midrange, we're bringing in Vanishing Verse to deal with Shieldred and Archfiend and Fable and Unholy Hanex, and it deals with just so much stuff. We are bringing in Fatal Push just to be able to cleanly deal with the creatures. I'm a fan of Reckoner Bankbuster just in case the games go a little long. And we're going to be bringing out Thoughtseizes because we kind of have to play the mid-range game against this deck. And we just want a lot of high value cards if possible, and to be able to answer them one for one and all that stuff. And I'm going to shave a single Fear of Missing Out. It loots, which is nice, but we're likely not going to have a lot of creatures when we play against this deck because they're full of removal spells. So this is how I sideboard against Rakdos. The second most popular deck is Izzet Phoenix. Against Izzet Phoenix, we're bringing in the 3 Duress, bringing in the Vanishing Verse because it deals with all of the creatures and deals with artist talent. Obviously, Unlicensed Hearse is great, being able to deal with the graveyard so they can't cast their Treasure Cruise and can't bring back art like Phoenix. We're going to be bringing out Fatal Push because it doesn't really cleanly deal with anything. A lot of the decks are getting off of Ledger Shredder, and even against the Ledger Shredder decks, it's pretty medium. We're going to take out Kroxa because often it can help their game plan. I'm not a fan of Sky Sovereign because it doesn't really do anything against this deck. And we're going to shave on Overlord because it can just end up being a little slow. So it's how I sideboard against Phoenix. The third most popular deck is Rakdos Prowess, Rakdos Aggro, whatever you want to call it. We're bringing in Portable Hulls, obviously. We're bringing in Fatal Push. We're bringing in Abrade. We're bringing in Vanishing Verse, just all the removal you can possibly imagine. And we're going to be taking out cards that are slower or don't do anything right when they enter. So we're going to take out Kroxa. We're going to take out Overlord. And then we're going to shave on Thoughtseizes. So this is how I sideboard against Rakdos Aggro. The fourth most popular deck is Selesnya Company. Against Selesnya Company, I'm a fan of Elesh Norn because it can turn off Enduring Innocence and a couple of the removal spells and like Aven Interrupter and whatnot. We're going to bring in Fatal Push and Abrade and Vanishing Verse to be able to deal with their creatures. We're not bringing in Portable Hull because most of their creatures are 3 mana and you just can't reliably have it do anything. We're taking out Kroxa because the games often don't go super duper long. Taking out Overlord for similar reasons. We need everything to do something when it's happening. And we're shaving on Fear of Missing Out. Whoops, took one too many. Sorry, sideboard against Selesnya Company. The fifth most popular deck is Jund Sacrifice. Portable Hull is pretty decent against Jund Sacrifice, so we're bringing that in. Elesh Norn is kind of cool. I've been liking it a lot in the matchup because it totally turns off the combo, and that's the big draw to Jund Sac at the moment. We're bringing in Abrade because it deals with Mayhem Devil and deals with the Witch's Oven, and Unlicensed Hearse to kind of stop the craziness with Scavenger's Talent and the cat and whatnot. Going to be bringing out Vanishing Verse. It doesn't really answer that many important things against the deck. We're going to be bringing out a lot of our removal because very often they can get value off of their removal. I'm going to keep Torch the Tower in because like hitting a Cauldron Familiar with a Torch is actually pretty powerful. And we're just going to shave on Fear of Missing Out. And there is your sideboard against Jund Sac. The sixth most popular deck in Pioneer, that's been coming up the ranks recently, actually quite a bit, is Niv to Light. Against Niv to Light, we're bringing in Elesh Norn because most things have Enter the Battlefield abilities. We're bringing in Duresses, very good against that deck. I'm a fan of Reckoner Bankbuster because the games can end up going pretty long. We're going to be bringing out Vanishing Verse, not a lot of monocolored permanents. Bringing out Torch the Tower and Fatal Push because it can't really hit much at all. And that's how I sideboard against Niv to Light. The 7th most popular deck is Blue-White Control. Against Blue-White Control, we're bringing in the Duresses, obviously. You always bring Duress against Blue-White Control. Bringing in the Reckoner Bankbusters. And we're going to be bringing out a bunch of removal. Shape on a Vanishing Verse. Bitter Triumph's a little bit better against Vanishing Verse because it can hit Teferi, but they're both like fine. So Sideboard against Blue-White. The 8th most popular deck is Hidden Strings. Against the Hidden Strings deck, obviously we're bringing in the Duresses. I'm a fan of Unlicensed Hearse because it can turn off Leer, especially if you turn to it. And we're bringing out a bunch of removal. A lot of the removal straight up doesn't do anything like at all. Keeping some amount in is decent for like the Leer being able to hold it up, but that's how I sideboard. Against Lotus Field. The Mirror Match is the 9th most popular deck of the format. In the Mirror Match, we are bringing in Fatal Push, Abrade. Also a fan of Vanishing Verse. It can hit a Parhelion, fun fact. And obviously Unlicensed Hearse as additional graveyard hate. Bringing out Kroxa because often it can help the opponent in the Mirror Match. And really, I'm just looking to set up like a really good mid-range plan and be reactive. So I'm not a big fan of Thoughtseizes. And we're just going to shave on Fear of Missing Out. Like we do a lot of the time. So that's how I sideboard in the mirror. The 5th most, or excuse me, not the 5th, the 10th most popular deck is the Enigmatic deck, mostly the Zur version. Elesh Norn is excellent against this deck. Duress is excellent against this deck. Vanishing Verse, also excellent against this deck. We're going to be shaving on Torch we're going to be cutting Torch the Tower. We're going to be cutting Fatal Push because they just don't hit basically anything. Sky Sovereign also kind of doesn't do anything in the matchup. So that's how I sideboard against Enigmatic. So there you go, how to sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks in Pioneer with Mardu Greasefang. The deck is so powerful and so fun to play. And if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.